And I mean, whenever I see pictures of myself where it's candid and I'm not paying attention, I usually have resting bitch face, so it kind of makes it easy to not have to worry about, is my smile okay? Tell me a little bit about your cosplay.
This is a alternate reality Darth Vader that I do. It's basically, I took a Hasbro helmet and I used a heat gun to manipulate the shape of it to the way I wanted it. Then I took and cut out portions of it and used Bondo and resin to build up the shape that I wanted. So it's not the typical Darth Vader. I based it off of The Force Awakens, that helmet. When I saw that helmet, it just hyped me up, and I was like, I got to build this to wear. So that's what it's just a different version of Darth Vader.
Okay, it's very cool.
I noticed you have the Cersei wig. Did you craft that wig, or?
I did not.
You did not.
I did
It
not.
looks like it's so amazing looking.
Oh, thank you.
What about the headpiece?
The crown I did craft. I bought the headband at the Renaissance Fair up in upstate New York, and then just took a bunch of wire and just kind of wove it in, and I had silver and gold because hers is silver and gold mixed, and just kind of wove it into the frame of it, and then bent it around and just kept bending until I liked the way it looked.
Excellent. It looks so phenomenal. You're welcome.
What inspired you to channel a villain?
I have always liked the villains. As a kid, it was something about, like, say, Darth Vader's helmet, for instance, the shape of it, and they always look cooler. You have like a Jedi come out and he's just in a robe and it just doesn't look cool. G.I. Joe, all the guys just have like regular army fatigues on, but then you have Cobra Commander come out with this metal faceplate, and the Vipers have metal faceplates, and they just all look cooler. So that was my thing about villains. I always rooted for them as a kid.
Yeah, they just look cool.
Yes. How about you?
I think for me personally, it's not something that I'm used to being, I mean, not that anyone's really used to being the bad guy, but it's just so opposite of how I am. And Cersei's so, like, you know, kind of crazy, but you kind of understand, like, everything that she does for her children and for her family. At least that's how she justifies it in her head. But it's just so opposite of how I am in my life. So it's fun to do something that's not the way you are, you know, to step out and be somebody different, you know. But I also work with kids. I work with kids with brain injury, and I mean, my kids at work, I love my kids, and I would do anything for my kids. Maybe not blow up a sept, but, you know, I get it. I understand where she comes from and where she convinces herself that what she's doing is right, I guess.
Okay. No, it makes sense.
But yeah, the villains, and they always look cool.
They always look cool.
Look so much cooler
so
than the
much
good guys.
cooler.
Good guys are boring.
Yes, they are. Very boring.
How do you pick and practice your poses?
That's an interesting question, because I just did a Facebook post not too recently where I said a lot of cosplayers say, oh, you know, I got to practice my poses. And I said, I don't practice poses. I do menacing scowls.
Right.
So I did a little pictorial, picture of all my different scowls that I do, and I just, you know, that's the only thing I'm worried about is intimidating.
Right.
So I guess if I did pose, I just try to do something that looks sort of comic book style related, but depending on the character. If it's Darth Vader, I try to do some type of pose that he does in the movie, you know, holding the lightsaber, or, you know, or doing a force choke or that. And comic book characters, I try to pick something from the comic book that and mimic it as best as possible.
Right.
It's really hard in the armor, so.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
My Cersei armor is very stiff, and I can't. There's only so many poses I can do in that one. Doesn't really have a lot of range of motion.
So you're in the same boat.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I watch a lot of Game of Thrones. Obviously, I'm obsessed with Game of Thrones. So just really watching what she does, and then I'll go online and look for screenshots and just practice. And I mean, whenever I see pictures of myself where it's candid and I'm not paying attention, I usually have resting bitch face. So it kind of makes it easy to not have to worry about, is my smile okay? Is this okay? I just kind of look crazy. And then I drink wine also when I'm doing Cersei, and
awesome.
It usually gets me in character, and I'm usually like mean mugging people because, you know, wine helps me be a little bitchy.
Okay.
But depending on the character, same thing. Like, I've done Miss Marvel, and when I do Miss Marvel, I'll look at pictures and screenshots and try to get poses down from the comics or whatever. But I've been doing Cersei a lot, so it's just bitch face. The last thing I went to, people were like, you have that bitch face down. And I'm like, well, yeah. I'm drinking wine. You're annoying me. How important are your accessories to your cosplay?
They are quite important to me. That's what I really like to concentrate on is props and like, you know, with the helmet, for instance, or if I do Ronan the Accuser, you know, I like to make sure that the hammer is somewhat, you know, very, you know, kind of realistic looking to say. So it's very important that I get those accessories right for it. I don't necessarily go for screen accuracy, but as long as it looks somewhat, you know, like from the comic book or the movie, or a combination of the two, which seems to usually be my case, that works out for me. How about you?
Well, as Cersei, my most important accessory is my wine glass. I have a really nice goblet that I got, again, from the Renaissance Fair.
Okay.
It's very important. I need it for my, you know, the last thing I went to, I didn't have it with me. People were like, you need a wine glass. I'm like, I have a wine glass, it's at home. I didn't bring it. My crown, I actually wish it came out a little better, and I've been looking into getting like a 3D printed crown. Okay. So that it's a little bit more accurate. Because, I mean, they're important. I think they're very important, and I like screen accuracy, so,
yes, yeah.
You know, but my goblet is the most important accessory that I have.
Okay, makes sense. So how do you evolve your cosplay between each convention or by the year?
I just go by what Cersei's doing in the show. I started out with red dress Cersei with the long wig, and then she did the Walk of Shame in the show. And I said, I kind of feel like I should do that. Not really sure why, but I did it. Yeah. So I just had like a little like tube top and short shorts, and they were both flesh color. Covered myself in fake dirt, covered my tattoos, put fake blood on, and glued rice to my shoulder. Like, again, watched the show, found screenshots of it, really like made sure that everything was exactly the way hers was. Tried cutting my wig for the short hair. That did not work. You can't really cut a wig to make it short. It doesn't work. Okay. Had to buy a wig. And then after that, I actually assumed that she was gonna die, because why would she live after that? And then they crowned her queen, and I watched the show with like my sister and my best friend, and when they crowned her, I was like, oh my God, guys, I'm gonna be queen now. And they literally were like,
dragons or unicorns?
Unicorns.
Vengeance or world domination?
Vengeance.
Care Bears or Ewoks?
Care Bears.
Books or movie adaptations?
Books, definitely. Can you sing your character's theme song?
Dun 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 dun. That's about the best I can do. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Can you sing your character's theme song?
Not gonna sing The Reigns of Castamere.
No.
No. Not gonna do it.
If you get one superpower in the world, what would it be?
I would fly. I would fly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any reason why?
Tired of driving.
It's a good one, though.
What would your superpower be?
Animal telepathy. I'd want to communicate with animals.
Oh, that's a
so anybody that did me wrong, I would send like an army of roaches to their house and just trash it.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I would just use animals to do my will.
That's awesome. That's a good one.
Okay. If you could go back, what advice would you give to the childhood you?
I would say, don't listen to the people that tried to bring me down. Like, I was very awkward and like, you know, different and just not popular in like middle school, high school. I was just taller than everyone else, had big teeth, big lips, and, you know, was made fun of all the time. And I would just let myself know, like, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna get past this, and it's just a phase, and don't let it bring you down. Like, it brought me down a lot, you know, and now, like, I see people on my screen, and they're like, oh, yeah, you look so great. I'm like, yeah, I know, thanks. Get out of here. You make me cry every day, so yeah. I don't care. So I'm definitely telling myself not to let that get to me, and it's, you know, middle school, high school was a phase that lasted this much of your life. It gets better.
Yes.
Definitely.
I agree.
What would you tell your childhood self?
sort of like you, I got teased a lot because I was like kindergarten, first grade, second grade. I was always the tallest person. Yep. And so I was like, oh, look, there's the tall freak, you know, that kind of stuff. And so I was the same way. I was very awkward, very quiet. People would, mess with me all the time just because of that. I would go back and tell myself, hey, look, don't let that bother you. Things will get better. But I would also say, go one step further and say, do better in school. Stop trying to fit in with people to get popular and stuff like that. Just go ahead and get better grades. And then, maybe at this point in my life, I might be a millionaire. I don't know. I could, if I just, done a little bit better in school.
Right.
So that's what I would go back and tell myself. Don't let those little small things bother, and do better in school.
Right. That's good advice. Today's experience was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed meeting new cosplayers. It was cool getting to know how the other cosplayers do, their cosplay and what inspires them, and it was a great time. I had fun. I'd do it again.
Today's experience was awesome. I got to see new people, just talk about what I like to do, so it was a very good time for me. It was very relaxing, and I enjoyed myself.
I love Tim. Tim is great.
Jaclyn is cool. She really plays that part.
She just seems like the type of person that wants to help, and I know that I will be able to, bounce ideas off of him. And
I see a lot of her, a lot of myself in her. Actually, we both like the villains and all that good stuff.
I mean, I hope Tim thought I was cool. What's not to like, right?
What do I think Jaclyn thought about me? Hopefully she thinks that I'm cool. Maybe a little bit insane. I don't know. But yeah.
I'm Jaclyn, and this is Cosplayers Getting Coffee.
I'm Tim, and this is Cosplayers Getting Coffee.